introduce myself briefly. I am a lawyer, I am a mother of 2 children, I am a wife, I'm her first child. Don't let the body fool you, I'm still a small girl, so please just permit me. I was invited to speak on mental health and the family in celebration of Women's Mother's Day, rather, Mother's Sunday. And as I walked in, the first thing I saw, even though I've already prepared my, sermon, was your theme, and it's all-round fruitfulness, and it struck me. I started writing things because the Holy Spirit started talking to me. That even when we're talking about mental health, family, and all of that, the first blessing, the first instruction the Lord gave the family was be fruitful. And that is in Genesis 1, chapter 28. And it says, be fruitful, multiply, have dominion over the earth, subdue it. So the Lord has already given us the capacity to be fruitful, to have dominion, to subdue the earth, to take territories, to take society, to take spheres of influence. But something is happening. If you notice, the family unit is now shaking. There's a lack of fruitfulness. There's a lot of strife. There's a lot of confusion. When children go to secondary school, you send them away one day. By the time you go and pick them, something else has happened. I'm even talking about secondary school now, but we see the primary schools as well. It's starting from when they are very young. The devil is coming to poach our children in that regard. And one of the ways he's using that is attacking God's original design for family. The Lord built society in a way that the family is the foundation, the family is the unit, man and wife and then children. And then he said, I've blessed them, go forth, have dominion, have this, have that, and all these other blessings. But we are saying that in today's society, because of the distractions of the world, of everyday life, and the pastor's wife spoke to me and she was coming, she apologized and said, oh, she's just coming from work. Another person would say, oh, they were in traffic. Somebody else would say, oh, market roads, or I had to cook before I left the house. I don't have anybody to stay at home with me. What we're seeing is that life is distracting us, and I think it's a deliberate thing for people focusing on our children. And we find that a lot of us are leaving the care of children in the hands of nannies, in the hands of family members, in the hands of its men and its women, just because you want to provide. So what is the problem here? If God has given us this structure, Adam, Eve, children, but it's only one woman, that's one point anyway. The woman, the mother, is going up and down looking for a way to provide, to, get the family together so she can do other things. What happens? There's a lack, there's a loss, there's a gap somewhere. And that's when this mental health issue starts coming up. Affecting society as it is today. That's why I started with the fruitfulness. We can never achieve this theme and this mandate, and it's not even just a thing, it's a command from God. He said, be fruitful, multiply, subdue, have dominion. And the Bible tells us that they are giving us a life of abundance. So you should live it in abundance. But how can we be in abundance if we are suffering without even speaking up? So I want us to just go into the mental health aspect of this, and I will start by sharing a bit of my story so that we'll understand that it affects every one of us in different ways. It is not just something you say in theory. It is not just something that is coming up now. If we want to be fruitful, if we want to be all-rounders, if we want to have a society where we thrive, the family is thriving, we must address serious mental health issues. And like I said, I'm going to use a bit of my story because I'm a daughter, but I'm also a mother. So I can talk from the aspect of being a daughter and know what I went through as a child. But I can also speak of being a mother and the mental health challenges that I went through. So I'll just give a brief story how I grew up, and what it means a bit of it. But I grew up in a very strict home. Not just strict, but this is how everything is supposed to be done, right? And my personality is someone who doesn't take well, to correction in that kind of way, in scolding, traditional form of scolding. So my dad was the kind of person that is no nonsense. He will flog me, he will spank me, he will do all these kinds of things. But my personality that was always shrinking as the thing is happening, as if you're attacking me as a person. Now I'm talking about this in retrospect because I've done the work, I've got to understand where the problems were coming from. But then I didn't understand. What I was saying, I was somebody who had breast and everything. I was those type of hot cake children. When you say, this one is fine, this one is like this. So I always thought that maybe it's because of what I'm wearing, that people are looking at me and trying to molest me and stuff. But I never spoke up. Even when I had a mom that was an advocate for women's rights, I didn't speak up. So what I'm just saying here is that as a mother, as a grandmother, observe your children. Observe your children and ask the right. Don't assume that everything is okay. Don't assume that, because if you think about it, boarding school, it's like you're dropping your children off for strangers to raise them. And whatever work you've done at home, even though I came from a home that we did morning devotion, night devotion, we did all. Once I left Port Harcourt, it was as if I entered a whole new world. And you can't really control what is happening in these places. You can't control the influence. You can't control what they are learning. You can't even control their curriculum. Let me give an example. I wanted to be a science student all my life. I visited one uncle, and the uncle were convinced that I will not make a good doctor. I should go and study law or something in the humanities. Immediately I went back to school, I changed from science to arts. My father called the school that they should train me back, that he knows that his daughter is a science person, that somebody that is made for science. The school refused. What am I trying to say? He had no influence on anything that happened outside of the home. As long as I was in school, I was under the school authority. So understanding that, first of all, you need to check the school you're sending your children to. It's not because my friends are there, because it's expensive, it's this and that. What has the Holy Spirit said about this place that you're sending your child to? Is there enough to say, okay, they should go to boarding house? Some children are not made for boarding house. Some children should be at home when you see every day. You check their homework, you check their book, you check all of this. So this aspect now of the family and understanding mental health, I struggled. When I struggled, I imagine after secondary school, I managed, my wife was okay, time to go to university. So it's only one flight, you fly to Lagos, then drive to Otta. So it wasn't too far from my parents. One saw them home. But imagine living in Nigeria with these troubles I had not addressed this issue. My parents did not know the extent to which I had been suffering. And then now going to university in another country. And not just any other country. Canada in 2007 and 2008 is not Canada now. Nigerians were not in that country. In my university, there were only maybe 6 Nigerians out of thousands and thousands of people. No community, no nothing. So I carry all the trauma and all my experiences and it entered into the university. And of course, I don't know if you can, anything that you think happened. Anything that you can imagine happened. And then technology had come. Our parents did not even have the capacity there to catch up with what was happening. Some of my friends were doctoring their results. They would get the school letterhead, put any results, and send to their parents. Parents did not know what was happening in that country. 2 days after the marriage, I got pregnant, and I didn't know that the pregnancy would affect me the way it did. It was later on that I realized that there's something called, a lot of people talk about postpartum depression, so that depression that happens after you have a child. But there's something called prenatal depression before you even had the child, before you delivered the child. I didn't know. And why did I have all these things? First of all, I was not prepared. Okay, I'm a very strong women's rights advocate, so I knew my plan. I'm going to do this, I'm achieving this before I turn 30. My career, I must be this, I must be there. You now bring the baby to destroy my plans. I was already angry at my husband. When I came to job party, not job party, all of that. So I was angry at my husband, angry at the fact that I was pregnant. And a lot of people didn't understand that. Oh, people are looking for the fruit of the womb. Why are you angry? Oh, your mates are not even married. Why are you angry? So there were a lot of people were nullified or disrupted. How do I say it? It was almost like my anger or my feeling were not valued. Yeah, they were invalidating my feeling because society expects once you get married, you get pregnant, you deliver the baby, you are happy. But I was not happy. And the worst part of it, I started having extreme symptoms. I had pimples from my face to my back to my leg, my thighs. I was having pimples on my thighs. I was allergic to all my skincare. I could not rub soap on my face. If I put it on my face, the kind of rashes I would have. My voice was changing. I was 4 times or 5 times darker. As my auntie, I was looking like a good. I could not rub powder, and I'm a giant person. I like going out dressing up. I couldn't do anything. Then the clothes, I was walking like somebody that, oh my goodness. I said, this is not me. So I was upset. I wasn't feeling good about it. And then I had some other medical challenges as well, almost having pre-eclampsia, different things that happened to me. So I didn't know that this was what I was dealing with. So by the time it got to having my child, my daughter, in fact, I even had some spiritual issues. So at times I would have vivid dreams and things like that. But by the time I got to having my daughter, I was in labor for 31 hours. And I hadn't dilated, nothing was happening. They tried to induce me twice, the induction failed. So I was in pain, I was shouting, I wish I was child who sent me a message, but why am I going through this? And then finally the baby came out, we had to have an emergency C-section. That was another thing, I was not prepared. But see, all I was doing was what they call that supernatural childbirth. I was praying, I'm confessing, I'm saying, so when they now said, Auntie, this baby is not going to come out this way, we have to do this way. First felt, oh, God had let me down. I wanted me to tell you the story of the Hebrew women that did this and this, like, well, it's not my story. Another thing happened. When the baby came out, the expectation was that you crying tears of joy, all those kind of things. I'm looking at this and what do you like doing? You have to explain it. So don't look like people that they play together and I said, what kind of what is this? I did not feel that pain that they will tell you when you see your child, everything will be okay. You will forget the labor pain, you will forget. I was in pain, I did not forget anything because I had a C-section and the thing was painful and the anesthesia was wearing off. So it took me a while to connect to forget that. And I didn't know that was normal. It was after, when I started talking to people, that I knew that, oh, it's not actually abnormal to have some of these issues. But because we are secretive about it, we like to pride ourselves as superwoman, I'm strong. I have 5 children, by C-section. Oh, I brought everything out. That was big now. Nobody talks about it enough. And so these challenges we face as women, as mothers, exist. This is where I knew that the devil works hand in hand with mental health struggles. I remember how it was now affecting my marriage. So this was not just with my daughter anymore. It's now with my husband because I was angry at him. He's not available to carry the child. But people were saying, hey, you are the one now. Are you not the mother? What are you expecting? In one day that I walked out to say, okay, let me go and receive breeze outside. I had no out to say, don't stand now, you're already outside. Who is taking care of the baby? Where's the baby? I said, so I came to this life for this child. I don't have any other. I almost had our marriage almost scattered, I'm telling you, because of the constant fighting, the not understanding each other, the struggles and all of that. We had to have a heart-to-heart conversation and say, this is not working, this pattern is not working. I had to be open to tell my husband, I did not carry this child alone. Yes, I know you're working to provide for us, but we need to be there. If you cannot be there, we need to find people that will come and help you, because if not, and we've heard stories, I work with children, I'm a women's rights lawyer, so we heard stories of women killing their children in this stage. We hear stories of women throwing their children out. We hear stories of women walking away and leaving the family and the marriage entirely because they can't go. So what is the solution? Speaking and talking about these things, having these kinds of meetings and conversations to share ideas, to say, this is real, you are not alone. Okay? And remembering that the mandate God gave us is to be fruitful, multiply, have dominion, okay? And that is in the extent of the family unit. So when the women even come and tell you as a church woman, as a mother, this is what I'm doing, don't send it away. Don't cover it up and make excuses. Sometimes, like I said, we see women, you went through it, but you want to pretend that it's not going through it, that you are powerful, more powerful than her. Your prayer is better than her own. You were fasting, you were kabashing, in the night you wake up and anoint your baby and prayer. You did not talk about the function and optimal capacity. A lot of us are neglecting our physical health and physical appearance in the name of motherhood. In the name of what do you call this movie? His supernatural wife. and all of those things. It's not okay. When last did you say, let me go and do my hair, let me do my nails, let me go to this? What feel safe? Something that you enjoy from him. Because if we're talking about family all the time, the family includes you. I don't know, sometimes have you noticed that if you check your phone, maybe you should do that, check your phone, scroll all the pictures with your family member, they're not inside one. You are the one taking this picture all the time. You are the one recording video all the time. Your children, the first day they walk, you recorded the video. This one, this one happened, you recorded the video. When last did you inside that video? When last did you put yourself as part of the family? So the one that you take now that you see yourself is after church now, you be so women's you gather and take. But the family one where you take. If God forbid some family and they say they need to bring that picture, you know they inside your own phone. And that's a testament to the fact that we are always putting ourselves behind. You cannot be a complete woman. It's Mother's Day, but I know that you are planning to cook on Sunday. No arrangement for enjoyment. No arrangement that you close your kitchen, you close your house, everybody rest. People should take care of you. Sometimes you have to be the one to tell them. Because the truth is that sometimes you marry men that don't even know. They saw their fathers do it one way. Now they've copied it in their feet. It's not even. So how vocal are you? Last week Saturday, I told everybody I was trying. I was serious. I said, nothing concern this house today. I said, if you want to jump outside and find food, that's your problem. I'm cooking from January to December. Today, I'm not doing it. Ask her, she's a witness. I refuse to answer anybody. I lock the door. Me and Netflix from morning till around 7 p.m. The food they're bringing it is, I don't even know what they cook. I said, if you don't want to survive, because the fact is that who will move forward without you? The fact is that things will happen if you are not there. Then it will happen. That your husband that has never entered the kitchen before. All that will catch him one kind of way that he will enter the kitchen. But we have decided that if you are not there, as a woman, as a wife, as an important person in this world, I must be the one to do today, and you're killing yourself in the process. And the worst part is that you are even doing twice the work as your husband. Now, I'm not against husbands, I'm just saying. If you think about it, you and your husband, those people that are working, you are going to work the same time. You are leaving the house the same time. But the work you are doing, in fact, sometimes you cannot be at least at home because you are thinking of your children. What are they doing in school? Even at work, the reason why a lot of women are not looking well and are not achieving the heights of their goals and their dreams because we take easier jobs so that we can be at home. You grew up, you wanted to be a lawyer, you wanted to be a doctor, you wanted to achieve a politician in this and that. But once you now see the requirement that you might need to be here at 7 p.m. in the night, and this one cannot work for me, I have to be at home. The reason why a lot of women are even struggling with their mental health are even frustrated is because they're doing things that they do not love. Just because they want to be able to say, okay, I can go out in the morning, make some money and provide for the home. If you actually check yourself and see what were your dreams when you were a teenager and what are you doing now, a lot of people tell you it's not the same thing. They compromise. They let you go. Once you get married like this, you decide to bring down your dreams. And it's understandable because you will now need to balance what you do. But the problem with Nigerian society is that we don't have or we're not taught to have this conversation with our partners. You just automatically assume the bottom line. If you discuss with your husband, see, this is my dream, this is my dream. I would like to achieve this. I want to be a professor. I want to do my PhD. I want to be this. If you marry a good man, because that one is actually the bulk of the problem, you'll be able to have these conversations. So in order to fulfill the calling of your life, you must be a whole person. You must address the trauma that you are going through. Because trauma is there, everybody has gone through, no matter how perfect your childhood was, somehow they've all gone through some kind of thing. You must address them, seek help. Don't hide in church under prayer and women activity. There are some people that are seriously broken in church. If you actually ask questions, the reason why we're having all this drama sometimes is broken people coming together and calling themselves in church without hope healing, without addressing some of these issues. You want to be a mother, you want to marry someone. Anytime they're doing what they call this program, singles and something again, number one, you have deep issues
you have not dealt with. You now find out your husband, get married, have children, before you know, all that has broken loose. Some people go their entire life without actually even enjoying their marriages and their lives because they are not addressing some of these issues. So I just want to conclude here by saying that the Lord has given us capacity. The beginning of this verse, when the Bible said before, he said, I have blessed you. He has already done the blessing. It's already available to us. We only need to tap into it. The opportunities are always there. In this church world, there are women that can even be your personal helpers. There are people that will help you grow and achieve things. You go to your workplace, the opportunities here and there. Don't hide under church, don't hide under marriage and family and fail God. Because God is the one that has called us to this mission. He has called us to this goal, this dream, this aspiration. When we ask the people, the men of the talent, the parable of the temple, God said, bury it under. What did he say? Oga respond? You selfish and wicked servant. Will the Lord say that of us? That he gave us gifts, he gave us talent. Yes, we buried it because somebody's wife, somebody's mother. No. We buried it because we don't deal with the trauma. Look at Jesus Christ that was actually crucified on the cross. Which kind of trauma? Out of all the trauma that you can face, he faced the greatest. By people that he came to save, they killed him. Yes, he found him. He was dead, he was resurrected, and he now our Messiah. That's an example of somebody that, I don't know if you understand the point I'm making. Don't let trauma, don't let your problem, the mental issues paralyze you and prevent you from achieving your goal. I hope you have learned something this evening. I hope I've stirred your spirit to make sure you are alert. The devil is not playing. Sometimes you think that what we are doing, the devil is doing. He's not playing. He's active. He's going to and fro, looking for you to be there. So our children, grandchildren, even if you're not your children, your community, people around, even in this church community, please pay attention. When you notice a change, when you notice somebody's habit, somebody acting out in a certain kind of, don't just judge them. Don't just abandon them. Ask questions. Send them to professional help. Even I don't believe that even in marriage counseling, it's not just pastors, wives, leaders in the church that should bring this counseling. It should be professional counselors. So that they can even notice and see some of these issues before you now enter the marriage. A lot of people that will say it if somebody had pointed out, this girl has a personality disorder, or this girl, the questions she's asking, something must have happened here. And they would have gotten healed before they enter the marriage. Once two broken people enter marriage, it can never work. It can't. It can't. If one is broken, the other person is broken, the broken person will not make the other one break. And then we have a society that is dealing with issues. Thank you so much, and yes, I hope you enjoyed this session.